Hey everyone, Lynna here. Huh. Well, honestly, I have no idea why I'm still awake. Um, I was sleeping, I got in at like 10:30, 11 o'clock last night, and I went straight to bed. Um, but somehow, some way, I fell asleep in my clothes even. But somehow, some way, I woke up and I just couldn't fall back asleep. What is that? Is it? Oh. Anyway. Yeah, so I just can't sleep. So what did I do? I did what I usually do and went to go escape in my office, the bathtub. Um, I have like a bottle of bubble bath that I got a couple of days ago, and I have to use it all up before I leave because it's not something that I want to carry on. Oh, imagine if it would like spill inside the luggage. What a mess. Oh gosh. So that bottle of Calgon is staying here. I'm already about halfway through with it though. But other bubble baths that I bought in the past, they just don't work right. I mean, they don't like make bubbles. So what's the use of buying bubble bath if it doesn't give you bubbles? Doesn't make any sense, does it? It doesn't to me. But I think one of the reasons that I can't fall asleep is because I have so much going on right between these ears. So much happening in my brain that it just doesn't let me sleep. I mean, I have to be at work at time. Well, the call time was for 6 a.m. But my boss said that I didn't have to be there until later. Doors at the arena open at 7:30, so I told him that I would be along by 7 a.m. Give me some time to maybe grab a little bite to eat for breakfast and then, move on and get back to my assigned workstation. But yesterday was really cool. I mean, after I finished up for the evening, this kid who I've become friends with, his name is Jake, and he works for this company that I've worked for in the past. And the owner is very trans friendly, so he's let me work with them and stuff like that. But I was operating crane, the jib, the camera that I really enjoy. And on this particular move, I did this crane move. Okay, this guy. Okay, this is the gag, the kind of the illusion that he wanted to let everyone in on, and it was this illusion of like, oh, I'm sinking again. It's this illusion that he is in front of the stage behind some screen, and it's like a projected image of him, but it looks like it's actually him, So he's like on the big screens on the sides, the big image magnification, otherwise known as iMag. these big screens and stuff. It's got this bust shot of him, and he's talking and stuff, and people are captivated listening and stuff. And then he's like, but the illusion is that I'm really not here or something. And then poof, the lights go out and the image goes to dark and stuff like that. And then he appears and people don't know where he's at, but they can hear him. Well, what happened was he's like on this like truss piece of metal suspended, in the air above the arena, way at the back. And it's on this track and cables and stuff that start lowering him down, into the audience and stuff. He ends up dangling over the audience about maybe, 4 feet above their heads and probably about 12, 13 feet above the floor. And then the track starts taking him back towards the stage. And then he's like talking and stuff like that. And then he ends up right at the lip of the stage. But my crane, I had a 24-foot crane that I built for the show. And it was like swinging. At first, I could only get the backside of him. And then as he got closer, the jib was at this perfect angle where I could capture him as he came closer and closer and closer, and then started to come right up on him. And then the jib camera was like right next to him. And then it kind of rotates as he backs up. And then it follows him and tracks him as he goes and sits down. As he goes and finds the lip of the stage where this piece of truss ends up, kind of dropping down onto the actual stage. And he literally gets up off this chair, which he's been sitting in, and then he walks up onto the stage. And at the end, the illusion is that he drops out of vision and sight, and there's like this trap floor underneath, but the lighting goes out and he walks off and disappears. And it's like really cool. Well, I caught it, without rehearsal, without any anything other than knowing what was happening. I caught it at the right time. And my friend Jake, who's this like young 20-something guy who's like a, techie and everything, he was like, oh my gosh, I haven't only heard about people like you, it's like you see a shot like something that you watch on TV and then you notice it and then you're like, oh my goodness, I wish I could meet that kind of a person who could do that kind of work. And I was like, really? You're like just, really serious? He goes, no, Lynna, that was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. Your angle, the way you moved up onto the guy and everything and just wrapped around. And I was just in awe of the shot. And I was like, gosh, thank you. I love what I do. I really do. And it shows because for me, it's not just a job. It's always been kind of like part of me, And the sad thing is that it's such a heavy piece of equipment and it's such a non-girl gifting that, it just doesn't fit anymore to do it. But do I like it? Yeah. Do I want to do it? Yeah. Can I do it? Like the setup and everything? I could, but it just wears me out more than other times because you have to lift up like 50-pound weights. And it's one thing right now. I still have testosterone being built up in me and stuff like that my Sparrow has to fight. But once I get GRS, all bets are off because there's no testosterone. And, muscle mass will definitely not be able to do the things that I, with testosterone, have been able to do all my life. It's already noticeable in the way that it's suppressed now, that things are just a lot more heavy than they used to be. But eventually, and I'm just curious if other trans folks, post-ops, can really relate to me and tell me if I'm right or not. But your strength level does kind of die off, right? It kind of makes you weaker. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's one of those things that I don't really look forward to necessarily, not being able to do certain things, but in the other sense, you know, it's not the worst thing that could ever happen to me. You know what I mean? The worst thing would be to stay, you know, as a guy. That would be the worst. But it was a huge compliment from a very sincere guy who, you know, he's become a good friend and an ally. And, you know, in this day and age, having an ally in life is a good thing. You know, I've made enough, or, yeah, people have already turned away from me enough. But, you know, it's really cool when somebody pays you a sincere compliment, regardless of your gender or however you want to come across. Just the fact that I did a killer, crazy good job, you know. Oh, another thing that really annoys me right now. Look, this stupid tooth chipped. I hate that. But I have no way to do anything about it. I can just kind of hide it. You know, you probably noticed in some of my videos that Lynna's like, you know, I mean, it's like, I had this looked at this winter, and they put a filled it in, you know, and it just came off. So I'm kind of bummed, you know, because who likes to walk around with a chipped tooth? Any takers? Anyone? Anyone? Not me. I hate it. But I tried to call this office because maybe I thought maybe I could sneak it in and just wander over there. It's like across the street from where I'm at, a dentist's office. But his office says he was open, but, you know, on this door, like when I took a picture the other day, I went to Kroger and bought some stuff, including the Calgon. And yeah, I took a picture of his door, you know, the entrance, and I had his phone number on there and hours. And I called it yesterday, and lo and behold, doctor's hours, dentist hours, must have been tea time, but his hours were not what he had said they were going to be, and I didn't get to go in. But oh well, what are you going to do? I mean, that's not the worst thing. It's bad, but it's not the worst thing that could ever happen. So I just deal with it and move on. Oh, something else that happened. Random, okay? I'm going into work and walking in 10 minutes till and stuff. I have to be there. And, you know, there's a bunch of people that are going to this convention thing that I'm shooting. And this group of people, lady gets a hold of me, my attention, and says, "Hey, mama, how are you? Can you help us take a picture?" She was like in her in her broken English. And I said, sure, no problem. And, I walked over there and she goes, thank you, Mama, I appreciate it. And, I took a picture of them and then they were like, oh, that's so good, whatever. I'm like, I'm a camera op. That's what I do for a living. Framing is my life. I have to frame things in a nice manner and stuff. But it was cool, to get to Mama. It's like in English when somebody says, "Excuse me, miss." That's kind of what it is in Spanish when they go Mama. So I walked in, and so there's that. Okay, and then here's how quickly the tables can change and turn on you as a trans person. I don't claim to be, unreadable and all that. I mean, I know I still have guy stuff going on with me, and I accept it. It's nothing I can do about it, and I just do whatever I can, and I mean, but my life is not about being self. It's not about being like this person who's just constantly hiding and like wants to just not, for no one to know that they're trans and stuff. I mean, come on, really? I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. I honestly am like just a year, almost not even that, in, and I know I've come a long way, but still, the hips say something, but the face still says something else, and the Adam's apple's still there, and, I mean, can anyone help me with this? I mean, I try to lose this hair that grows above my eyebrow, but it's like this darker patch, that I still just can't seem to figure out how to just get rid of, it's just annoying. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, this guy, I'm already at work and stuff, and been there for a while, and he comes in to work as well, but I'm sitting down, it's like after lunch and stuff, and he goes, excuse me, I don't want to sound rude or anything, and I don't want to come across that way, but I just had a few questions, and I go, sure. Yeah, my nephew, he's like cross-dressing, but more like trans and stuff like that, and I just don't know how to approach him. I don't know what to say to him and how to deal with him and stuff like that. I was just wondering if you had any advice. And I just told him, I asked him, so your nephew, is it more of a fetish, or is it like, he's seriously feeling like he's been misgendered all his life or realizing it? And he's like, no, I really do believe that, she, or I don't know how to say it. He's like all flustered and stuff because he doesn't want to be rude, but he just wants help. And I appreciated the honesty. I appreciated that he was asking something that was just heartfelt and truly out of love for his nephew and niece. And I just think that more needs to be said and more needs to be shared. So I shared with him a little bit and told him that, the best thing he can do is just love his niece, and just use the proper pronouns when talking to her, and just validate her and make her feel accepted and loved, and just really just be a loving person towards them. They're dealing with enough as it is, than to have to deal with the elephant that's in the room, so, I just told them, be yourself, be honest, be open, and just love your niece, although that this is an awkward moment for both of you, and that life is gonna, change and everything. It's just important just to love, Whatever happened to just loving people? I mean, that just does a world of good. It can never hurt, it can never injure. Love is something that will never cause a problem. So, although it's hard, just love. I mean, if someone does you wrong, just love. If someone makes you feel bad or they don't understand you, just love. If, whatever situation comes up in your life that you can't handle, just love. That's all you need to do. I just wish more people would understand that. More people would know that the best thing to do is to just simply love. Well, from the bathtub, it's Lynna. See you guys later. Bye.